It's been a minute. It has been a minute. I know these are supposed to be monthly life check-ins, but it has been war over here. My last check-in was what, March? It's July 2nd, 3rd right now. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was going through it, y'all. I was really going through it. But as always, we're gonna do the 5, 4, 2, 3, 1 check-in style. This is Anthony Dongfak, pre-med student, MPH grad now. Um, so yeah, I'll let you know what's been going on with me since the last 3, 4 months. But starting with the five general updates. Work. Work has been something. I think I'm gonna talk more about work in my four L's, because work has been an L recently for sure. Like I said, working in clinical research. It's been hard. It's been hard. Um, since my last check-in. I've had some time off here and there. We've had a few holidays, but they've been working me. They've been working me. I'm getting up at 4 a.m., getting to the hospital at 6:30, and I'm out of there by 2:45 p.m. to get home by 5. But some days I'm not out of there. Some days I'm getting there at 6:30 and I'm leaving at 10 p.m. Like it's gotten to that point, and I'm really like working honestly like physician hours for less than median national median income. So it's not sustainable at all. It's really been draining me. So that's kind of what's been going on with work. So I need to get out of there. I need to get out of there because this is too much. I've never worked this hard for this little pay. This is actually insane. Um, School though, I'm starting to study for the MCAT. Yeah, I just started studying. And I'm going to be taking chemistry too, retaking it this fall. Not looking forward to that. I mean, chemistry is not the aspect of science and medicine that I like. I did not like chemistry when undergrad. I appreciate chemistry, but I don't like to take it under the condition that we have to take it to force this A to prove that we're whatever. So I will retake chemistry too because that's what I have to do to get to this next step, and that's all it's going to be. Um, My next update is I've been shadowing. I've been shadowing a lot recently, and that's really been dope. I've been shadowing an oncologist. I've been shadowing cardiologists. I shadowed two hospitalists, one during the daytime, one during the evening. Um, and both hospitalists were Black women, which was amazing. I was going to shadow this um, a high risk OB surgeon, but he had an emergency like the day I was supposed to shadow him. So that ain't work out. So I literally saw him on the street the other day. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then he just walked right by, and I was like, "Hey," but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get to shadow him. So it is what it is. But we tried. Outside of that, did I shadow anyone else? I've set up some more shadowing with the cardiologist as well. So I'll be doing that in early July, and I shadowed a oncology fellow, and I also shadowed an oncology nurse practitioner, which was impromptu. I wasn't like trying to, but I had gotten there to shadow the oncologist, and the oncologist was like gonna get there in 30 minutes after I got there, and she was like, "Well, you want to shadow me?" And I was like, "Sure." And she like really broke down post radiation treatment assessments. Really broke down patient history of the patients that we're going to see, what first line versus second line treatment looked like, the type of cancers that they had. Like she really broke it down and gave me honestly more information than the physician, which was cool because I was like, okay, like I'm getting to hear like the science behind it. So even though that I know it doesn't necessarily like count per se as physician shadowing on an application for med school, it's still great exposure. And I think I learned a lot. So I definitely sent her a follow-up email like, yo, I really appreciate it, like you just one allowing me to shadow you, but also two really breaking down the information before and after seeing those patients. Like because the oncologist was not doing that. And that's not to disparage the oncologist. I guess that just wasn't her teaching style. So I really appreciated that this nurse practitioner really like broke it down each patient for me. That was really dope. Um, Another update is I'm starting to develop a nonprofit. Yeah, this is my newest like big passion project. Now that school's kind of winding down, for my graduate program. So yeah, I'm starting to develop a nonprofit. It's going to be an educational equity nonprofit. I'm in the process of recruiting some founding board members and really just like working on the steps towards creating the nonprofit, filing for 501(c)(3) status, or 501(c)(3) or 501(c)(3). 501(c)(3), yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm new to the space, so I'm learning the lingo. But yeah, I think my leadership opportunities, leadership experience that I've had in the past, I've done work in nonprofits, whether I realize it or not. And I've just been on different student boards, and professional association boards after college. So I think all of that experience is really like pushing me to like, hey, what's like the big change that I want to create? And how can I do that in a way that either hasn't been done before or needs to be amplified? And that's kind of what my nonprofit is going to work on. So I'll share more details about what that looks like as that becomes more further in its development stages. But yeah, it's going to be an educational equity nonprofit focused on Black and Brown and under-resourced students and their journeys towards medicine, law, and higher education. That's kind of what it's looking like. Um, a phone call. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that. But anyways, yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm really, really excited about that. Honestly, like it's something I was gonna do after I became a physician, but I was like, I got a few years between my MPH and med school. I might as well start it now and just like make it self-sustaining and then keep working and volunteering with it as I'm in med school and residency. So that by the time I'm a physician, it's already something that's well established and that I can also contribute to as well once I start making income. So I think that was a better route to do it. And I get to have my application, which is not the reason I'm doing it, but it's another bonus as well. So yeah, that's something I'm really excited about, and I hope that's going to make a lot of great change in a lot of students' lives. So more on that soon. Last update on me. My leadership position in SNMA has ended. I was the co-community service liaison for the National Maps Committee. So national position, kind of just doing some liaising for community service initiatives on the national and regional levels. I did that with my co-liaison, and we were coordinating with the National Community Service Committee of SNMA. So that position, now that AMEC is over, has ended, and that administrative year is switching to the next administrative year. So now I'm just gonna take kind of a step back. The regional director was like, "Hey, you want to do a regional position?" I was like, "Man, I really do, but I'm exhausted right now." So I'm just gonna do a committee position, like because committee positions are a little like the responsibility is a little bit more dispersed. So I think I'm just gonna go that route. Just stay on the community service committee, help out with programming, help out with internal chapter reporting in terms of service hours and things like that. And then also help out with the diversity research committee. Still trying to figure out what subcommittee I want to be on, but yeah, I'm just gonna be on committees for now, and I don't want to take any too many singular leadership positions where the responsibility kind of solely weighs on you. I don't really have the bandwidth for that right now. We're starting this chemistry class, finishing the MCAT class, wrapping up my MPH, and all the research projects and work I have to do all in between. So yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a break, and then maybe next year I'll consider a regional position. So that's what I'm thinking right now. But yeah, those are my main five updates. Now for the four W's. Regarding my MPH, I graduated. Technically, my program's not over until the end of August, because it's a 2-year online program. But May commencement is that's the only opportunity you have to walk. So my whole class walked. Yeah, so we saw each other for the first time in person. We did our school public health graduation. We did our university-wide commencement. There was a black graduation, but there was a waitlist for that, so I just didn't get to go, which was crazy. But yeah, and me and my girlfriend, we drove from Providence all the way to Michigan and back. That was a 17-hour drive. And we actually stopped at like different med schools along the way, which was cool. We took pictures, whatever. So yeah, that was a good little trip. We like Michigan. Michigan people are very nice. I love the Michiganders. Visited Detroit one of the days. My family came up. Yeah, so it was a good time overall. Stayed for a week. Um, yeah, go blue. That was a dope graduation trip. My other W, I won a free MCAT class. So the MCAT class I was talking about, that's free. Which I'm really grateful for. Like that is a great weight off my shoulders. Like I had a whole plan about how I was gonna pay for it next summer by myself out of pocket for like $4,000, and maybe like raise some money from family and friends and like to like alleviate some of that cost. My girlfriend was gonna contribute a little bit, and there was this MCAT like program offered back in my home state, Delaware. This program that was run by this OB-GYN physician who also had MPH, who's also black. And she basically she was sharing that, that flyer all over LinkedIn. And I happened to see it and I applied and I got it. So that MCAT got started this summer. I wasn't ready, but I was like, hey, an opportunity for a free MCAT class, I'm taking it. So yeah, I started the MCAT class. It's like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday for like 2 months. Honestly, after working 9 to 5, and mind you, I told you the hours I work. Sometimes I'm there from 6:30 and I'm getting back at 5 if I'm lucky. Sometimes I'm not getting back at 5. Sometimes I'm ending work at 6, 7, 10. Like, so you can imagine I'm exhausted. Exhausted. Two of the sessions, I knocked out midway through the class because I was literally exhausted, physically exhausted. That class is designed for people that are not working. Not saying I'm not grateful. I'm extremely grateful. The stuff that I'm learning in these classes, the strategies, yo, highly recommend. Highly recommend. Kaplan, the Kaplan class, highly recommend. And even if it's not Kaplan, I recommend any class at this point because the stuff that you're learning, there's no way I would have guessed any of this stuff without a class. Like, there's no way. You're not getting that from books. You're not getting that from self-study. You're not getting that from some YouTube videos. These Kaplan classes have, and whatever other classes, if you choose to do Blueprint or Exam Crack or whatever else, these classes have the sauce. The sauce. No wonder. No wonder when you look at the statistics of who's getting what MCAT scores and LSAT, who's getting what MCAT scores by race, that it's different. Because when the white students and the Asian students have 6 to 7 more points on a yearly basis than the black and the Latinx students, I don't think you need a study to understand that there's a clear disparity there in terms of access and generational wealth. Because, hey, if I was getting these classes paid for by my parents, I would have 6 plus more points too. Because wow, the stuff I'm learning, yo, if I had taken the MCAT class without this class, I don't know. It might be curtains for me, honestly. Like, I'm genuinely like honestly curtains, curtains. Like change your career or I don't know. Like apply to every school and when hope something happens. Like I don't know. This class is like godsend. So I'm extremely thankful, but I'm also exhausted. Exhausted. I can barely keep up. I can barely keep up on a full-time job. But hey, once again, that was my second W. Third W, I had a grad party for my MPH. Yeah, a bunch of my peoples came up, my family, my girlfriend's family, a bunch of my friends, fraternity brothers, classmates, like all types of people pulled up for me. It was definitely a beautiful time. I really enjoyed it. And I also had a registry. And it literally, I put a list. I highly recommend this, by the way. Anyone who's graduating, whether you're graduating from college or from a grad program and you're planning to go to medical school, law school, whatever professional school, um, literally do what I did. Make a poll on your Instagram or even just text people individually and say, hey, what are the things that if you could go back and take your MCAT or your LSAT, or if you could go back and just like have like really just do like an intentional shopping spree of everything you needed to do well in medical school and to do well in your admissions test, what were the things that you would buy? What were the things you would get? Get all those responses from your friends, connections, and Instagram polls, whatever, and put that on your registry for your graduation party. Yo, that's I got an iPad. I have UWorld paid for. I have I got a Littman stethoscope. I got a stethoscope holder. I got a Figs jacket. I got University of Michigan apparel. I got a whiteboard for writing out the amino acids on the MCAT. I got a whole test prep set, free test prep set. My old boss sent it. Like what? My old boss sent it to me, $300. Like I got a what else? I got a bunch of other stuff, like a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I basically took all the responses. I said, okay, I'm putting all of these on the registry, and people bought it. So yeah, your grad project can be a great fundraising tactic to get all the resources you need to do well on your admissions test and to have your resources ready for medical school, law school, etc. So highly recommend. That's exactly what I did. That was a W for me. Last W, Juneteenth passed a few weeks ago. We had a parade in Boston. And then there was a cookout the next day in the big old Franklin Park. And I think that was a W for me because physically, that's something I really wasn't able to truly partake in last year because of my ACL tear. So the fact that I was able to walk in that entire parade, I think it's like 1.5 to 2 mile walk, in the heat, and then also be able to engage in the Juneteenth cookout the next day, and really just celebrate Blackness, especially the work, labor, pain, and trauma that Black Americans have had to experience in this country and endure through in order to gain the emancipation that allowed all people in the Black diaspora to even be here in the first place. We got to celebrate that and got to shout out our Black Americans. So, um, yeah, Juneteenth was definitely a dope time. I really enjoyed being with the Black community of Boston, and just seeing my folks, seeing my peoples, really just getting to eat good food, drink some drink, have a good time, kiki, and just enjoy each other, enjoy community. I really enjoyed that. And the fact that I was able to walk around, somewhat comfortably, has shown tremendous growth in my recovery process overall since my ACL surgery. So I think that was a W for me as well. Now let's talk about L's. Three L's. The first one, kind of the same as last check-in. I'm still broke. I'm broke. Like, yo, I'm broke. And that's kind of the reason. I think that's a big reason as to why it's taken so long for me um to do this check-in because being this broke and I know you're probably looking at my background. I got the sneakers on the right, I got stuff on the ground, I got a jacket here, I got mad books in the bookcase. This is my office space, so I got a two-bedroom. There's stuff in the closet. You're like, oh, how broke can he be? Promise you, this is just things that have been collected over the past decade and a half. These are not things I've been buying recently. None of these sneakers have been bought in the last year. This shirt was a gift. All majority of these books I have found for free or I bought them 3 to 4 or 5 years ago. And honestly, a lot of them are my girlfriend's books, not even mine. This hat is free. This shirt was free. Like, like I promise you, I'm broke. Like it don't look like that, but like I promise you, I'm broke. I'm broke. I've never been this broke. It's bad, yo. The first was 3 days ago. Still haven't paid rent. I've never been consistently late on rent. Like this is crazy, yo. I know the economy is bad, but like I'm specifically in like a stage of my life where I can't even do nothing with the money that I get from my job. I can't even do nothing with it. Like the money comes in, the bills take it out. Crazy. I've never been this broke. And I knew this was gonna happen when I took this job, but I didn't know it was gonna be this severe. And it's I can get on a soapbox about the disparity and how the pre-med journey forces you to really hone in on these roles that don't pay that much. We can get on a whole soapbox about that disparity because people that are actually doing medical assistant jobs, PCT jobs, the CNA jobs, especially people that don't look like me, they can afford to do these jobs because they got parental one and parental two paying for their lifestyle. I don't have that. I got student loans, I got bills, I live with my girlfriend now, so I really got I can't just be unemployed or else this is all going away. So I'm working this job that pays below my living expenses. I got my first repo notice. I've never gotten a repo notice. That's insane. My car is in danger of being repossessed. And these past few months have just been dark because I've just been like the shame, the despair, the exhaustion, hopelessness, just that like I have an ashen feeling of just like nothingness so often because I know the second I get paid on payday, there's nothing I can do with that money. Nothing. Imagine going to work 4 a.m., leaving at 3, but sometimes knowing you might not leave till 10 p.m. 5 days a week, month after month after month after month. And there's nothing you can do with that money. You would be pissed. And I am constantly in that feeling. So that's my major L. And that's why it's taking me so long to do this check-in because I seem a little happier right now. That's because I've kind of just gotten used to the feeling that I've been feeling these past few months. Because 2 months ago it was dark. It was really dark. And it's still dark, but it's like I'm able to like kind of laugh through the pain now. But yeah, it's a struggle over here. Second L, kind of related to the first L. I've been skipping all my appointments. Well, PCP appointments, dental appointments, vision appointments, physical therapy appointments. I can't afford the copay. Once again, with the money, with the income, I can't buy anything. I haven't been able to afford food since October 2025. Bro, it's July 2026. What are we talking about? The only reason I've eaten food is because I live with my girlfriend. If I lived alone, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm a pre-med with a master's degree that will confer in 1 month. I'm 28 years old, grown. I'm not weak. I got a little, you know what I mean? I got a little, you know what I mean? But like, I can't afford food. I can't afford food. I live in an apartment complex. Can't afford food. And if I can't afford food, this goes back to public health, social determinants of health. If someone can't afford food, they're probably not going to go to the doctor because they're going to want to pay a copay. How? If you can't afford a $40 copay, how are you going to afford, if you can't afford a $10 meal, how are you going to afford a $40 copay? And which is going to get prioritized? And also, why would you go to the doctor when you already know what? Not that you know what the problem is, 'cause you don't know the full scope of the problem. You can't possibly know the full scope of your medical problems. But you know what the main issue is. I haven't been able to afford food in 9 months. I had my ACL surgery in August of 2025. I haven't been able to run since August. No, since April, when I got injured. I haven't been able to run in over a year. So I definitely gained some weight, you know. Blood pressure probably raised a little bit, you know. The sedentary lifestyle that's forced upon me has probably caused some cardiometabolic issues that have developed slowly. Now I've done my due diligence. I've gone to like community health fairs, got my blood sugar checked, had my blood pressure measured. Harvard was doing a free dental screening in Dorchester. I went to that. They checked my teeth. you know, like I'm doing what I can if it's free. But if it costs money, and unfortunately my employer does not have a no deductible plan where I can just get something and then just have it fully covered, that's not one of the medical plans that are offered to us. So I'm kind of stuck where it's like, yo, if I'm gonna go to the doctor or dentist or optometrist or physical therapist, I gotta shell out $40 to $100 per visit. But I can't even afford a $5 meal because whenever I go to the cafeteria at my employer, my card declines. And the line is wait, you got the nurse behind you, scrub tech behind you, the doctor behind you, you know what I'm saying? You got the admin behind you looking at you, and you trying to buy a damn banana and your card declines. But you work at this prestigious hospital, card declines. $5 banana, $3 banana, $2 water. Can't even buy that. So yeah, that's my second L, which yeah, is spilling over from my first L. You can tell this bothers me a lot. Hopefully I get out of this soon. But according to my third L, I don't know, it might not. Well, hey, it's tough over here, yo. My third L, I was put on a PIP at work. I was put on a PIP. For anyone that doesn't know what a PIP is, performance improvement plan. Sounds nice, kind of. Sounds a little administrative. For those that don't know what this is, a performance improvement plan is basically a probably month or multi-week long documentation plan, basically showing, hey, these are all the ways that you've messed up in the past however many months, and these are the ways that we want to correct it, measured by X metrics. If you don't follow X metrics in the next 3 to 4 weeks, then your employment may be reconsidered up to termination. Sounds a little tentative, but usually just means, hey, we're gonna basically monitor everything you do for the next month. And if you don't meet these metrics, you're done. The end of my PIP ends in July 12th. It's July 3rd. I got 9 days. I got this PIP in June 12th. Let me just say right now, I don't think I'm gonna beat this PIP. I beat a PIP before. I had a PIP in 2023. I beat it. Do you know the amount of effort it takes to beat a PIP? It takes a lot. Because a lot of times, especially if they really want to get you out of there, they will make the criteria, like the metrics, so unbelievably unobtainable that like you have to like do overtime just to meet those metrics. In 2023, I was stubborn enough to actually say, yeah, I got this. Y'all ain't firing me. I'm gonna take this challenge on. Bro, I was working 12 hours a day in 2023 when I got that PIP in November 2023, and I had till basically mid-December before the holidays to figure it out. So I say, yeah, I'm gonna beat this PIP. When December 18th comes, that was the end of my PIP, 2023. Y'all ain't gonna fire me because I'm gonna meet all the metrics. I met the metrics. Oh, I met the metrics. Trust me, I met the metrics. I surpassed the metrics. Blew them out the water. But it took me 12 to 16 hours of work every single day on a 40-hour job. I was working 60 to 80 hours just to beat the PIP because I was doing like four people's worth of work. Four people's worth of work. Are you serious? Yo, I was looking at that. I looked at that list. I said, this is impossible. But I said I was gonna do it. And you know what? When I got this PIP at this job, I said, you know what? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I can't do that again. I don't have that in me. So I haven't really tried. It's not that I've been doing nothing. Like I've, here and there, because we've been having weekly check-ins with manager and the research program manager and the senior program manager of the cancer trials we work on. We talk about some of the action items I've been having from week to week. I've been completing a good amount of them, but not all of them because some of them are just they're too much. They're too. I would have to stay. I would literally have to stay at work. I would have to stay at work until the last train leaves, and I still would miss the last train. I would have to I would have to literally erode my life to meet this PIP. And I said, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm gonna wait the PIP out. So I've been interviewing, I've had jobs here and there, or I've had interviews. I've been first round, second round, third round for one role, been in first round, second round, third round for another role. I've been the second round for another role. I'm on phone interviews for 3 other roles. So I'm just like, hopefully I get a job from one of these that lands something. It sounds like I will land at least one thing. Pretty confident about some of them. So I just don't. I think you got to know when to choose your battles, and this is not a battle I will win. And this is not a battle worth winning because, like I said, I can't afford food. I can't afford to go to the doctor. And I'm working 6 a.m. to sometimes 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. to make the amount of money that has me consistently late on rent. What would I be fighting for? What would I be fighting for? I'm not like that's not worth the energy to maintain that. It's not worth it. So I was just like, y'all want me out? Cool. Don't know who's gonna recruit your patients. Don't know who you're gonna hire next to replace me. I don't know who can handle the volume of this research portfolio that this PI expects. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I'm not saying it's not me. I'm just saying not for this amount of money. Not for this amount of money. Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. You pay me double, I'll make it happen. You pay me what you're paying me now? Not worth it, bro. Not worth it. So, yep. Now let's move to two pieces of advice I'd like to share as we start to wrap this up. BT Awards just passed, and Tayana Taylor, she dropped a bar when she won her Icon of the Year award that I thought would might be the quote of the year, honestly. But she said, "Greatness isn't measured by how many people stand beneath you; it's measured by how many people stand beside you because you're willing to reach back." I thought that was beautiful. Like that aligns so strongly with my philosophy. Like I was just like, that's the quote of the year. Because like it's especially in medicine, it's like, yo, like there's so much competition. I'm starting to hate the word competition now. I hate the word competitive. The word opportunity is starting to bother me a little bit sometimes now. Like everyone's trying to get everyone's trying to get everything. And then it's just like, but where's the collaboration? Like, are we sending opportunities to other people as well? Are we putting people on? Are we advocating for our friends in other rooms that they're not in? Are we adding people to research groups? Like, are we meeting physicians in specialties that we don't care about and then sending our friend to that position? Or are we just saying, okay, no, I'm just gonna meet that position and that's just my relationship? Like we have to be villagers. Like we have to be community members. We have to help each other because we're all gonna be physicians at the end of the day. Me getting to medical school faster is not going to eliminate a spot for 3 other people behind me. It's just not. And someone doing well is not going to eliminate my chances. But especially when undergrad, people really did move like that, and it was sad to see. And I'm glad that as a non-traditional pre-med, I've been able to be in spaces where that's like no longer the case. And I think the pandemic has helped with that, unfortunately. And I think like people have become a little bit more open to being a lot more collaborative, a lot more helpful, resourceful. And I think people are naturally resourceful in medical school as well once you're there. But I think that in this in-between phase, especially when you're close to the undergrad stage, pre-meds can be sharks sometimes, and I hate that. Um, so I really resonate with that Taylor quote for that reason. The other thing, I was talking to this pathologist who's an AK. Don't mind the canine in the background. But yeah, I was talking to this pathologist that I connected with back in undergrad. Um, she just matched to a hospital in Philly for her pathology residency. And I was just like sharing with her just like everything I've been going through over the past few months, just like really struggling with money, like really struggling with money. And she was like, yo, like, you gotta get to the money by any means necessary. That was really the message. She had mentioned that she was working as a medical scribe on the weekends, and then maybe some part time during the week. And, you know, it was meager money, but it's great. It's great clinical experience, and when you're building these applications and you're building your experiences to go on your application, you want to have really good clinical experiences, like really show, hey, you want to be a doctor because you've been in these spaces, you work in these clinical teams. But the medical scribe role and many of these other high clinical experience roles don't pay that much. back to the same issue I keep talking about. They don't pay that much. And to that point, it's like, okay, especially as someone who may be a black pre-med or a pre-med of another marginalized identity, or someone who just doesn't have any physicians or high income earners in their um, direct network or in their family, the nuclear family. When you take on a medical scribe job or another role that doesn't pay that much, but it's great clinical experience, by the time it's time to apply, you ain't got no money. You can't even hit submit. So she was telling me, like, yo, I worked that medical scribe job for a few months. I got my big girl biotech job, and I headed out there and I stacked that bread. And I say, you know what? Yeah, because I'm tired of trying to prove my loyalty to these companies, these hospitals, with these roles that just don't pay. They just don't pay, you know. And I get it. I'm in a specific situation where I had an ACL surgery, so I just couldn't handle a second job physically. Um, so it's a little different. It's like, yeah, because I have work roles where it's like I'm getting average pay, but I have a second job, so my total pay is manageable. But and for the past year, I couldn't do that physically. Could not do that. So working these hospital roles with this ACL injury that's healing up from surgery has been taxing. So she was just reminding me, you don't have to prove anything anymore. You've done the clinical experience. I've been working on clinical research for 3, 4 years. I've been working with patients for like 4 or 5 years, consistently, 40 hours a week. I've done the time, you know, and I love patients. I love working with patients. But another year, another 2 years is not going to prove any more strongly that you love working with patients. Now it's time to get the bread to actually hit submit on the application. So she was like, "Yeah, get your money by any means necessary. If you gotta leave a job 2 months early, 3 months early, 4 months early to get a job that's paying 20K, 30K, 40K more, you need to do that. You don't need to be like, oh, I committed to 2 years, I committed to 1 year, I commit family. You need the money for the application. You need the money. You have no other option." So yeah, so she was like, "Get to the money by any means necessary. If that meets your situation, you know what I'm saying? You in a job that asks you for a 2 year commitment, and you 1 year, 7 months in, and you got a job that says you got a job offer that says, hey, we need to just start next week. F it. You going because you need that money for the application." So that was the two pieces of advice that I would share. Goals for next month. My goal last month was to finish the capstone project. I did do that. Shout out to me. Goal for next month, get a new job. That's the goal because this PIP trying to get me out of here in 9 days. So if I can get this new job, whatever it is, that'll be a blessing. I can stay at that job for 1, 2 years. Hopefully, my next job will probably ask for a 2 year commitment. I would love to meet that. I've been saying for the past few years, I want to work somewhere where I can just work and feel supported by my team and feel supported by my manager and be able to have and promotion. I've wanted a promotion for so long. I haven't been able to get it. So if I can just get a promotion, if I can get some type of junior management experience, assistant manager, project manager, program manager, anything like that, even a senior clinical research coordinator role, like anything like that, I would love that. So hopefully my next role gives me the opportunity to have some level of oversight because I think that's the ceiling, my income ceiling that I'm kind of running into is I don't have any management experience. I have plenty of leadership and management experience outside of work, but I need to push that into my professional work. So that's my goal, get a new job. Hopefully by next check-in, I make it happen. So thank you so much for listening to my check-in. We're gonna keep going on this road to medicine. Good luck with everything y'all got going on. Yeah, see y'all next time.